Welcome. My name is Danielle, and as always, I am so glad you're here. Today, I have a nice all levels flow prepared with an emphasis and a focus on really mindful movements. So, we're going to stay a little lower to the ground for the most part and a little bit more spinal extension and flexion than normal to just really bring that awareness, that intuitiveness, really connecting with our bodies. So you might choose to hold the poses and really be in your breath, building strength. You might choose to move a little bit with me, moving with your breath, developing kind of nuance and depth in the pose. Both are beautiful options. Just listen to your body and do whatever calls to you. So you can grab a block if you like it, maybe a strap. We're going to be doing a quad stretch at the end. That could be helpful. So grab your props and we will meet in our mats in a seated position. All right, so we're gonna get started today in a comfortable seat. We have Mochi here in the distance, getting her sniffs in, just being our little cheer squad, setting the mood. So let her do her thing while we do ours. So we're gonna find whatever comfortable seat is calling to you, maybe just an easy seat. I sometimes like to do lotus or half lotus. But just taking a moment here at the beginning to really just start to close the eyes if it feels safe, or maybe gazing at the floor in front of you. Sitting tall, grounding down through our hips, feeling the earth supporting us, and then lengthening through that spine. Maybe rolling the shoulders down and back, extending tall through the crown of the head. And just start to notice whatever you are feeling right now. Deep breaths, maybe breathing through the nose. On the inhales, feeling the chest as it rises, making you maybe a little taller. And then feeling the chest sinking down on the exhale as you grow a little heavier. And just start to be with your breath right in this moment. So if you are like me, you've had a busy day, your mind is all over the place, thinking about never-ending to-dos, your chores you gotta do, that email you gotta respond to. Your only job throughout this class is to keep coming back to that breath. Those thoughts will come, but this is your time for your body to shine. So breath by breath, just let those thoughts go. Be present in this moment as we start to move. So keeping your eyes closed as long as you would like, if it feels safe. On our next inhale, our hands are going to go out and up, touching overhead, and then on our exhale, lowering back down, placing them down by our sides. Inhale, arms come out and up, and exhale, lowering them back down, lowering those shoulders. One more time. Inhale, arms up, growing tall, tucking in those ribs, and then exhale, lowering down. Inhale, arms up. This time, clasping them together, interlock grip. Then we're going to flip the palms so they're shining skyward, and then pressing up, growing tall, keeping those ribs tucked under. And then on your exhale, we're going to tilt over to the right, pulling our upper body over, grounding that left hip down, feeling that stretch on the left side of the body. And then inhale, coming back through center, reset that spine, roll those shoulder blades down. On your next inhale, we lengthen. And then exhale, tilting over to the left. So we're drawing our right hip down as we're stretching up and over, as if there was an imaginary beach ball on the left side of our bodies. Soften the jaw, soften the brow as we go a little deeper. And then inhale, back through center. Exhale, lowering those hands down. Maybe noticing how we feel as we're starting to get into it. All right, next inhale, arms up and over. And now on your exhale, we're going to start to twist to the right, bringing our left hand to our right knee, Right hand coming behind us, grounding us down, then lifting up as we start to twist a little deeper. Maybe looking over our right shoulder, that navel to spine, supporting our back as we twist, twist, twist. And release, coming back through center, lifting up those arms. And then exhale, twisting over to the left, grabbing onto that left knee with the right hand. Left hand is support. We are lifting up and then twisting back. Maybe bringing the neck into it if it feels okay. And breathing deeply, noticing what we're feeling. And release. Inhale, arms back up through center. And then exhale, hands come to our knees. So on your next inhale, we're going to lift the heart, leading with the chest and a little seated cow. And then exhale, pushing into our knees, straightening the arms, rounding back for cat. Then inhale, leading with the heart and coming up for cow. And exhale, rounding back, tucking that chin, pushing the heart back through cat. And then starting to move with your breath. With every round, seeing if we can find a little bit more depth. Just trying to wake up that spine here at the beginning. So maybe just noticing, where are you stiff? Where are you holding tension? And if you're keeping your eyes closed like I am, maybe that's giving you the opportunity to really notice something more about yourself. Where are you feeling it? When I am doing it seated with my hands gripping onto my knees, I really feel it in the shoulders and that upper body. So just reflect on, how is this different than doing it on hands and knees. All right, let's do one more round. Coming up for cow. Rounding back for cat. And then we're going to make our ways onto hands and knees for tabletop. So we are setting up, fingers pointing forward, shoulders are over our wrists, knees under our hips, toes can be tucked or untucked. I'm going to tuck them, get a little bit of a toe stretch, and then we are going to go straight into it. So for our bird dogs, grounding down through that left leg, we're just going to extend that right leg out behind us. Toes are pointing down, and take a moment to rock back and forth. Start to stretch your ankle, get into that calf. Navel to spine here. A strong core is what's the key to this one. And then as you're ready, you can stay with this hold, just driving that heel back or freezing that foot, keeping it flexed. Start to lift it up, coming straight behind you for our bird dog on the side. Navel to spine. Can we keep a neutral spine here? We're not dipping down. We're not rounding back. Shoulders away from the ears. Now you can hold this, maybe closing the eyes, just really feeling this pose. Or we can start to move. So start to bend your knees, going that scorpion tail behind you. And then on your next exhale, rounding down, pushing the earth away, bringing your knee in through your nose. Maybe it touches, maybe it doesn't. And then inhale, driving that leg back, keeping that foot flexed for that scorpion, pressing into your knuckles, your fingers. And then exhale, rounding in, bringing it in through to the nose. And then doing just a couple of rounds of this. Maybe the gaze is at the top of your mat. Maybe you're closing the eyes. And if you are closing the eyes, really be present in this pose. Continuously exploring what's going on in your body. Pressing into the fingers, into the knuckles, rounding back to get into the shoulders. And then let's do one more round. If we're moving, bringing it into the nose. And exhale, driving it back. And extend the leg out in behind you. And then take the leg over to the left side of your mat, just dropping those toes down. And then gently start to push your hips back a little bit. Maybe drop your right hip a little bit, just kind of stretch out the left side. Feeling it out. And then bringing it back into regular tabletop. Just take a moment to reset, drawing some hip circles, my bad. Maybe closing the eyes here for this too, just really feeling that stretch. And then changing the direction of the circles if you're taking them. I got a lot of sounds around me today. It's definitely setting the scene, all these planes and trains. There's so much life happening around me. So can I keep that focus in this moment? That is the challenge. All right, coming back to neutral, navel to spine. When you're ready, taking that left leg out, extending the heel back, tucking those toes under, and then maybe rocking forward and back, giving your ankle a little stretch, kind of giving your wrists a little stretch too. Navel to spine, shoulders away from the ears, just being in this stretch. And then a couple options. You can stay in this stretch and hold, just continuously pressing that heel back, or start to lift that leg up, keeping that foot flexed. Your hip is square facing down. Staying with this, just driving that leg back, or start to bend that leg, keeping that foot flexed. And then on your exhale, drawing that knee into the nose. And then on your inhale, dropping the belly a bit, extending that leg back up. And then moving with your breath. So whichever variation you're choosing right now, can we find something to focus on and explore in our bodies? Feeling it out in the breath. Can we find lightness on the inhale? Can we find depth on the exhale? All right, one more round. Rounding in with knee to nose, then driving the heel back. Then extending that leg out behind you, foot still pointed down. Taking the foot out to the right side of the mat, and then sinking those hips back. Just for a little stretch on the outside of the leg. Maybe dropping the hip down, just kind of getting some nuance into it. And then as you're ready, coming back in through tabletop. So another round of hip circles, just really keeping it neutral, keeping that body in balance. Maybe adding some shoulder rolls in as well, kind of doing figure eights. And then reversing the circles if you've taken them. Hopefully you're starting to get warmed up here. We're going to add on a little bit over time. And then coming back through neutral, start to walk your hands back to your knees, coming to kneeling. And then on your inhale, hands slide up the hips, the shoulders may be opening up, and cactus the arms, shining the heart up. And then exhale, hands coming back in, sliding down the legs onto the knees, and then starting to walk our hands forward, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, and coming into our first downward facing dog. So it's our first one here. Let's take a few moments to really feel it out. Maybe pedaling into one leg and the other. Maybe doing a squat or two, a twist, just reorienting yourself in space with the head now below the heart. Rolling the shoulders down the back, really pressing the earth away. Tucking that tailbone higher to get that heart shining towards your thighs. And then a moment or two in stillness to really feel the embodiment of this pose. So your knees are bent a little bit. They're working towards straight. But we want to make sure we keep that length in the spine. Your heels are drawing down. They might not touch, mine rarely do, and that's okay. Just breathing into the backline body. And when you're ready, bend the knees, look to the top of our mats. Now pressing into your hands as brakes, we're going to slowly tippy-toe forward, coming all the way to the top for our first forward fold. So maybe the hands stay on the mat. Maybe you're giving yourself a little bear hug, hugging the knees. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows. Just find whatever hand variation is calling to you. And then commit. Maybe swaying side to side, bending one knee and the other. Maybe bobbing a little bit, tucking the chin. Head grows heavy. And can you breathe space between every vertebrae and grow a little bit longer in that back line? And then whatever arms you have, you're releasing them down. On your next inhale, round it up, roll it up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Coming back to that breath. Maybe closing your eyes, seeing what we're feeling in this moment. And we'll go through a couple of rounds of sun salutation A, adding on intensity each time. So on your next inhale, arms up, interlock grip, release the index fingers, and exhale, hips to the left, arms up and over to the right. So we're looking for that beautiful half moon shape, holding for a breath. And inhale back through center. Exhale, hips to the right, arms up and over to the left. Breathing for a breath. Inhale back through center. Exhale, cactus, the arms pulling the heart up. And inhale, arms up. And exhale, fold in. Inhale, halfway lift, shine that heart forward. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back, top of a push-up. Then lower down, knees, chest, then chin, light, and in that order. Inhale, pull the heart through for little baby cobra. Exhale, lower down, push yourself back through child's pose. Then lift the hips for downward facing dog. So that is our gentlest vinyasa. That is always an option for you. And we will add on a little intensity every round, helping you find the one that works best for you. One more breath, slowing it down. Then bend the knees, look forward, and tippy toe to the top for our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Coming back to that breath. Inhale, arms up, interlock grip. Exhale, hips to the left, arms to the right. Holding for a breath. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, hips to the right, arms to the left. Pushing our hips as we're pulling our arms. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, cactus, the arms lifting the heart. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, fold in. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back, top of a push-up. The knees lower down, then shift forward, make your way all the way down. Inhale, untuck the toes, coming up for cobra. Exhale, lower in, tuck the toes, push the hips back through tabletop, then lift the hips for downward facing dog. Pausing for a few breaths. Maybe closing the eyes, noticing what's going on inside. Is our mind racing? Are we holding tension somewhere? Just coming back to that breath. Then bend the knees, look forward, hop, step, or jump to our fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Do one more round before we get into more movements. Committing here, being fully present. Inhale, arms up, interlock grip. Exhale, hips to the left, arms to the right. Holding for a breath. Then inhale back through center. Exhale, hips to the right, arms to the left. Holding for a breath. Inhale back through center. Exhale, cactus the arms, lead with the heart. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. Step back, top of a push-up. Knees raised or lowered. Lower down into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, pull the heart through for down dog. Then exhale, push yourself back into downward facing dog. Coming back to that breath. Then bend the knees, look forward, hop, step, or jump. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Coming back to that breath. All right, next inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit down, sit low for our chair pose. So we can leave our hands up, pinky spiraling in. You can bring your hands to heart center. Maybe thumbs are connecting with the sternum, but cow's breath in the spine, rolling the shoulders back. Maybe sitting a little deeper, the weight is in the heels. And inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold in, lifting those hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, right foot steps back. Then drop the knees, untuck the toes for our inhale, coming up into low crescent, hands to knee, thigh, or sky. Feeling it out for a few breaths. We want our knee stacked directly over the heel. We are pressing into that back leg, really grounding down. Right hip is slight angled down, left hip sliding back, lifting up, growing tall, then rolling the shoulders back. We can stay with this or invite some movement. On your next exhale, cactus the arms, lead with the heart. Then inhale, lifting up. Exhale, cactus the arms, maybe sinking the hips. And inhale, lifting up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, straighten. And moving with your breath for a few rounds if you're taking it. Maybe closing the eyes for a little balance challenge. But we're really grounding down in that left foot. It's surprisingly difficult to close the eyes. All right, then settling in here. After a couple of rounds, lifting that heart up. Inhale, lift the arms. And exhale, hands come down, framing that left foot. Settling in for a low lunge for a few breaths, really pressing down with that right foot, maybe pressing so hard that you lift the knee and then drop it back down. Then stay here, or driving down through that left heel. Start to push the hips back, going into a half splits here on the left leg. Maybe closing your eyes here, feeling it out. Can we lift the heart, then find depth, hinging forward, breathing space into the places that need it the most, and maybe surrendering the head here at the end. And on your next inhale, shift the hips forward, re-bending that left leg, framing the foot. Tuck your back toes, pick up that back knee. Left foot steps back, and we make our way to downward dog. Some cleansing breaths here. Coming back to that breath. Then as you're ready, right foot steps forward, coming between the hands, dropping the left knee, untucking those toes. And on your inhale, hands to knee, thigh, or sky for crescent low lunge on the other side. So feeling it out for a few breaths. We're driving down in the right heel, then trying to slide the leg back. Feel the whole back line of that leg engage. Pressing down in that left leg to slide that left hip forward. Growing tall, through the spine, rolling the shoulders down and back. And then we breathe. You're welcome to stay with this, just feeling it out, building strength. Or if you feel ready, start to cactus the arms, leading with that heart. Then inhale, straightening it up, maybe straightening that right leg a bit. Then exhale, cactus the arms, sinking the hips down. And then inhale, lifting up. And moving with your breath for a few rounds. And again, maybe closing the eyes, or maybe just lifting the gaze. The higher the gaze, the harder the balance becomes. So this is your chance to play and just learn a little something about yourself. All right, settling in for one more round, sinking those hips down. Then inhale, straightening those arms up. Then on your exhale, starting to frame that right foot, driving down through the right heel to sink those hips back for our half splits on the other side. Straightening the spine, leading with the heart before we hinge deeper. Maybe holding in stillness, feeling that stretch. Maybe inviting movement, kind of wiggling that hip out and in. Maybe noticing how the stretch changes. My body is always creating movement. And so maybe just noticing what your body is trying to get, and what your mind is trying to say no to. All right, then coming back to stillness, and walk the hands forward, rebend that right knee, tuck the back toes, pick up that left knee, then gently step forward to our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Closing the eyes for a moment, coming back to that breath. Slowing the heart rate down. Just trying to be in stillness, be in this moment. And then we move. So on your next inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit low into our chair pose. So same options here. Hands are reaching up, cow's breath in the spine. Maybe hands coming to heart center. Weight is in the heels. We're not gripping with our toes. Can we find a little bit more length and sit a little bit lower? Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold in, lifting those hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, left foot steps back, keeping that knee lifted if we want, or dropping it down. Either way, hands to knee, thigh, or sky for crescent high lunge. So it's the same shape, just more intensity if we're choosing it, but going back into our low lunge is also always an option. Maybe challenging yourself by transitioning between the two. Moving with your breath, that's one option in this round. Or another option, bringing our hands into heart center. Bring our elbows into heart center as if we were trying to draw the elbows in. And then on our inhale, we're opening up like a windmill to the right side of our mat. Then exhale, drawing the elbows back in. Inhale, opening up, really focusing on sinking that left hip down. When we're opening, going into our twists. And exhale, rounding back in. And inhale, opening up. Exhale, rounding in. Maybe one more round, opening up. Exhale, rounding in. Can we tuck the chin, like draw the elbows in? Then inhale, arms back up, straighten that right leg. Then hinge forward, going into a pyramid pose. So you might need to adjust that back leg here. We're trying to get, heel to heel alignment, ideally, but you might need your feet a little wider. So if we're on railroad tracks, either option, we're still trying to drive that right hip back. Whew. My mat's not grippy enough today. Pushing that left hip down, a gentle bend in that right leg so we're not locking out the knee. And then when we have our shape, straightening with the heart, then hinging forward into that deeper stretch. Can we breathe some softness, really using our hands to push the earth away? That might give us the space to fold a little deeper. Maybe tucking the chin here at the end. All right, then we start to plant the hands, frame that right foot. Then right foot steps back and flow your way to downward dog. And a moment in stillness. And as you're ready, right leg steps forward between the hands, adjusting our crescent roots, knee raised or lowered. On your inhale, hands to knee, thigh, or sky for our crescent lunge on the other side. So 2 options here. After we feel it out, really lock in those crescent roots. Left hip sliding back, right hip sliding forward, squaring our hips to the front of the mat. Staying with this. Option 1, dropping the knee down. Playing with that exploration from high to low for a few rounds with our breath. Or option 2, drawing the elbows in. On your next inhale, windmilling that elbow open into a crescent twist to the left side. Then exhale, drawing it in. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, drawing in. Moving with your breath for a few rounds. Really bringing some awareness to our roots, our strong roots grounding us down. All right, let's do one more round, opening up, really stretching those shoulders back. Inhale, rounding in. Then bringing our hands to heart center, reaching up, straightening that left leg, then hinging forward, finding length, coming into our pyramid pose. So gentle bend in that left leg. We don't want to lock out that knee. Maybe adjusting that back foot if you want to. Sometimes it's nice to keep the heel lifted. Sometimes you'd rather ground it down, either option. We're lengthening in the spine, leading with the heart. Then tucking in, finding depth. Our hands are pressing into the earth. This is a great place for blocks if the earth isn't quite accessible. And breathing space for a few more breaths. And as you're ready, start to walk those hands forward, bending that left leg. Step forward to our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down by your side. Coming back to that breath. Maybe noticing what sensation we're feeling now. I'm feeling more heat in my left leg. Definitely stretched it a bit more. It was feeling tighter. So just notice what is coming up in this moment. And then we move. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. Right foot steps back, coming into our crescent high lunge just for a moment. Then on your next inhale, windmill the arms open, dropping that right heel for our warrior 2 pose. So we're looking for heel to arch alignment in the feet, bending into that front knee, working towards 90s, knee directly over the heel, shoulders directly over your hips. We're not leaning forward or back. Stretching our arms east to west, rolling the shoulder blades down. Gaze is at the top of our mats at our fingers. Feeling this out for a few breaths. Maybe staying with this, really building strength, or again, moving with our breaths. So inhale, straighten, flipping the palms, really pushing up. Then exhale, settling in, driving out between the palms as if we're pushing some walls away. Inhale, straighten the legs, lift the hands. Exhale, settle in deeper. Inhale, lengthen, drawing that energy up. Exhale, offering the energy out. And then a few rounds just moving with your breath. What do we notice in this variation? Can we find lightness when we breathe in and find depth when we settle? Let's do one more round. Settling in, drawing our palms in, bending, stretching east to west. Then we go into our reverse warrior. So straighten the hands, flip that left palm, then reach forward for length, and then go over, trying to find that beautiful stretch on the whole left side of the body. So our right hand is just there for support. If we were to hover it, we shouldn't lose length. So going down as deep as we can, but not sinking the weight down. We are lifting up. This left arm is active, giving us space. Holding here, maybe going with the hand behind our hips to prevent us from putting too much weight into it. For one more breath, can we sink in a little deeper? And inhale, coming back up. Reset those arms, lean forward, then start to surrender that left arm down. You can be resting on your left knee or coming to the inside of the foot in a block. Maybe going between that big and second toe, pressing the knee back. All beautiful options. I'm feeling a little fatigued myself, so I'm going to support my hand with the earth. But again, we're not putting all of our weight in that hand. We're reaching up. That right hand is giving us space. And breathing here. Maybe looking up, gaze up at our hand if it feels okay on the neck. And soften in. And then release, windmill the hands down, coming on the inside of that left foot. Wiggle, walk that left foot out a bit. Pick up that back heel. Then drop the knee. Coming into a wide runner's lunge. So this is one of my favorite poses to really slow down. Move this lizard lunge. Maybe closing the eyes and wiggling the hips side to side. Or maybe staying still. We can draw the foot in, really pressing down in the left toe, or maybe start to pick up the heel as if we're going on the knife edge side of the book, knife edge side of the heel as if we're opening a book, drawing that knee out. We can stay with this, maybe place our hand on the knee to really push it open. Or maybe we're coming in here with the foot still down, drawing our forearms down. This is another option. Some days it feels really good. Just find what's calling to you. But I think today I'm going to stay with this, lifting up, leading with the heart. Shoulder blades are down the back. And then just breathe. This can be an uncomfortable pose. If we're at our edge, we're stretching, you feel that heat that we're generating. And can we just breathe some softness and try to be fully present for just a few more breaths. Now we're coming down towards the end. You're welcome to stay here. If you would like to get a bit of a quad stretch, take your right hand coming kind of more underneath your chest. That left hand is going to come out and around. Then we're going to start to bend that leg. Maybe you can make contact with the foot. Maybe you can't. This is also a great place if you had a strap, wrap it around the foot and pulling it in. So if we want to go for the quad stretch, you don't have to. Just do what is calling to you. But if we are, our foot is kicking back, our hand is pulling it in. That equal and opposite action is what's going to get that depth of that stretch. And softening in at the end. And then we release. Windmill the hands down, tuck that back knee, or tuck the back toes, pick up the knee. Then our left foot steps back and we flow our way to downward dog. And settling in for a few breaths. And as you're ready, right foot steps forward between the hands, setting up for our crescent lunge just for a moment. On your inhale, hands to knee, thigh, or sky. Feeling it out. And then when you're ready, start to windmill the arms open, dropping that left heel down, setting up for warrior two. So again, heel to arch alignment, pressing into the knife edge side of that left foot, bending into the front knee, working towards 90. Hips are trying to open to the side of our mat, stretching the arms east to west, rolling the shoulders down. The gaze is at the tip of our fingers. And so again, beautiful options here to stay. Just find stillness in this pose or start to invite movement. On the inhale, flip the palms, straighten that right leg. And then exhales, sinking in, pushing the arms away. Inhale, draw the energy up. Then exhale, offer it out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. And moving with your breath for a few rounds. Maybe noticing, how does this feel? Is it different from side to side? All right, then settling in here at the end. Straighten the palms. You're welcome to just stay with our warrior two, or flip that right palm, reach forward, finding length in that right side, and then going back for our reverse warrior. And again, that left hand is just supporting. You might be tempted to bring it behind the back or keep it on the thigh, either option. We're reaching up and over and then sinking deeper and softening in here at the end. And inhale, coming back through, straightening those arms, stretching forward, finding as much length as possible before we start to drop the right hand down. Stretching the left arm up. And again, your forearm can be resting on that knee, can be on the outside of the leg, can be on the inside of the leg. If you're really feeling it, you can go for a bind. But I know I am tired, so I'm just trying to be present and noticing, what are we feeling here? Maybe closing the eyes, breathing deeply, knowing that the pose begins when we want to leave it. So if you are feeling that burn, that shake, that is when the true work begins. Being present in this discomfort. And then we release, windmill the hands down, taking both hands to the inside of that right foot, picking up that left heel, dropping the knee back, untucking the toes. And here we are on our lizard lunge on the other side. So again, same options here. We can just be working on depth, maybe coming onto our forearms, getting a little bit deeper. You can also have a block, bringing your forearms on a block. You can be taking that right foot, peeling it open like a book, hand on the knee. Maybe we're finding some movements, wiggling. Maybe you need something different on this side than you did on the other, and that is okay. What can we feel? What can we learn about ourselves? And what can we notice? Is our body trying to resist it? Can we find softness? And then we're welcome to stay here or start to bring that left hand in a little bit underneath our shoulder. Right arm windmills out and open, reaching back. Then bending that leg, maybe trying to grab that foot. Again, a great place for a strap if you can't quite reach the foot. And then we are kicking the foot back, simultaneously pulling with the arm. That equal and opposite action is engaging all the muscles, keeping us safe. Maybe staying here. Can we sink a little lower? Find whatever's calling to you and close the eyes and see what you're feeling. Connecting with that breath. Feeling that space in the chest. Maybe breathing into that back leg. And softening in here at the end. All right, then release the foot. Bring in the hands back in. start to tuck that back toe, pick up the back knee. Right foot steps back and flow your way to downward dog. One last time. And slowing back down, closing the eyes, preparing ourselves for just a little bit more work to come. All right, then we're going to come down onto our knees, start to walk our hands back, and come to kneeling, sitting tall at the back of our mats. So you're welcome to have your toes untucked, pressing into the earth. I like to tuck my toes, get a little bit of a toe stretch. Choose whichever option is calling to you. Can we sit tall, rolling the shoulders down and back, and connecting with our breath for just a moment. All right, on your next inhale, we start to lift the hips, hands slide up the body, maybe coming up, and then opening into cactus, lifting the heart, drawing those shoulder blades in and down. Then inhale, arms up, and then exhale, coming in, sliding the hands back down the legs, connecting with that breath. And we're going to go again, seeing if we can go a little deeper. Inhale, lifting up, sliding the hands up the body, opening up cactus, the arms really lifting the heart up. Can we push the hips forward? Then inhale, hands up, coming back through. And hands slide down the legs, closing the eyes, connecting with the breath. We're going to do one more round, maybe going into camel only if it feels good in your body, okay? So on your inhale, coming forward, sliding the hands up, reaching up overhead, drawing the shoulder blades in, arms coming down, pushing the hips forward, lifting with the heart, maybe taking the hands back, grabbing on your hips to push forward more. Maybe if you're feeling really open, you can start to reach those hands back for the heels, lifting the heart up, maybe tucking the head. And really start to come back out of it. Slide your hands down your bodies and then settle in. Closing your eyes for just a few breaths. Now, camel can be an intense pose. It's a deep heart opener. And we tend to hold a lot in our bodies. We tend to hunch forward if we're sitting at desks all day, for protecting ourselves. So really opening up that heart. It's getting deep in those tissues, so it can bring some feelings up. So just noticing here what feelings are coming up. Notice them, thank them, and send them on their way. And we are here for the cool down. So let's start to bring it earthward. So start to walk our hands up through tabletop. Then tuck the toes, coming into downward dog, our last one of the day. Finding some length, really pushing that heart back, really countering that hard work that we've been doing. And then looking at our hands, visualizing a squat. Maybe walking our hands in a little bit so we can either tippy toe forward, coming to place our feet on the outsides of our hands, or we can bend the knees, pushing into our hands, start to jump forward and bringing our feet to either side. So heels are in, feet are out, as if we're have a little bit of an angle to them, and going into our Malasana yogi squat. So this can be a hard pose for most, and it was hard for me at the beginning. You can bring your hands to your heart, lifting up, staying high, or you can start to go lower. This is a great place for a block if you want to try to sit your hips on a block. Or you can bring your hands to heart center, elbows making connection with your knees. Start to sink the hips down and press into those knees, really opening the hips. But we're lifting through the heart. And then just staying here for a few breaths. So maybe swaying side to side. Some days that feels good, some days it does not. So finding what's working for you. And then finding some softness. Noticing what we're feeling. Can we breathe into the discomfort? Growing tall through the spine. Staying staying here, we're gonna go into a twist. So taking our left hand down, pressing into the earth, our right hand is opening up, reaching up behind us. We're trying to twist our chest open to the right side of our mat. You can stay here. If you want to try to go for a bind, start to wrap that left arm around the leg. Maybe find that hand behind you. Some days that feels good. Today it does not. And breathe for a breath. Then inhale, release. Let's come back through and reset. So maybe lifting the hips up, wiggling side to side, drawing those heels out. Just get a little bit of release. And then preparing yourselves to counter it on the other side. All right, so as you're feeling ready, finding length in the spine, pivot those heels in, toes out, then start to go into your squat, finding your depth. Maybe going deeper, maybe not. Lifting the heart, closing the eyes if it feels okay. And then being in that discomfort. Staying here, or going into our twist from the other side. So right hand reaches down, left hand opens up, stretching that arm up high. Staying with this, or taking that right hand, wrapping it around the knee, bringing the left hand, maybe finding a clasp. It's also a great place for a strap. That could work there too. And breathing into it. I definitely want to get out of it. My mind is saying leave, but my body needs this. So I'm trying to stay calm and breathing through it. This is the last little push. And then release. Let's lift the hips up. Give a little bit of release. One last time. So our last standing pose before we make it to the earth to stay. So offer some gratitude to yourself. And prepare yourself to come in. So let's wiggle, walk those feet down, and then start to bend the knees. Reach our hands out in front of us. We're gonna go into our boat pose. So without hands, if we can we sink the hips back and just pick up the legs and go straight into our boat pose? If you need to use the hands too, that's okay. Setting up for boat. So our legs are out in front of us. Hands can be reaching, pinky spiraling in, lifting the chest, or maybe resting them behind the legs for support. Either option is perfectly okay. Our legs are squeezing in towards center. Feet are pointed, lifting tall. You can keep the legs straight, or a challenge to straighten the legs. Maybe holding this, or maybe going between them, bending and straightening. Moving with your breath. We're gonna be here for 5 breaths. You can do this. I know you can, pushing through it. Hold and breathe space. Feel that shake, feel that quake. And then start to lower slowly as you can, holding on as much as possible. And then release. We have made it to the earth. We are here to stay. So just a little bit more twisting until we get our final rest. So going into some supine twist, starting down, bringing our knees into our chest, maybe wrapping our arms around, legs are side by side, not crisscrossed. Giving ourselves a big bear hug, rolling the shoulders down the back, really feeling that spine connecting in with the earth. Maybe gently tucking the chin. And then starting to release the legs, going up for our twists. So you can have your legs up here in our waterfall pose, and you can just hold this. Some days I can hold waterfall pose for just minutes. It feels so good. But we're gonna take that right leg, bending at the knee, bringing it on top of our left knee. Then our hands are gonna come thread through, starting to bend that left knee and grabbing on just below the kneecap. Pulling the knee in, flexing both feet, keeping our joints active there, working. Breathing into this for a moment, just maybe closing the eyes, noticing, where do I feel tightness? Can I soften in that tightness just a little bit? And then you're welcome to hold this. If you would like to go into the twist, we're gonna release the arms, coming out like little airplane wings to the side, pressing down on the earth, using our strong, strong core to just tilt our legs over to the left side of the mat, keeping them that same figure 4 shape. And then we set up for our twist. So you can keep your legs like this, and just resting both shoulders down, looking to the right. You can also take your hand to your right knee and maybe push the knee out if you want to get a stretch on that inner hip. Maybe pull the knee in if you want to feel a stretch along the outside. Maybe you wiggle the leg out, make it straight. Maybe you wiggle that foot underneath the knee. Now just taking a moment. Oh, I see Mochi has joined me here. That's messing my balance up a bit, but hello, Mochi. She's always my best cheerleader. And just feeling it out. So trying to one day have both knee and shoulder, that opposite knee and shoulder making contact, trying to find length on the whole right side of the body, and then turning your head as much as you can, as long as it feels okay on the neck. Just breathing into that right rib, finding softness and space. And then we release. So taking those hands back out to your side, using that strong, strong core. Can you bring your legs back in through center? And then straighten the legs, shake it out a bit. Maybe do some circles with your ankles. And we will set it up on the other side. So your right leg stays straight, left leg bends, bringing it just above your knee. Hands are coming through, bending that right leg, grabbing on just below the kneecap. Flexing both feet before you start to pull that knee in and breathing into it. You stealing the show, Mochi? All right, if you would like to stay with this, you're welcome to it. Otherwise, you take both hands out to your side, using that core to topple your legs over to the other side. And again, same options. You can keep your legs as they are. Bring that hand to knee connection to pull in or push out. Looking over your left hand if it feels okay. Maybe just noticing how different it feels on the other side. You have done it. You have done the hard work. Pushing yourself to your edge, giving yourself grace for your mistakes, your wobbles. They are beautiful. They are part of the process. And so maybe just a moment of gratitude here, that the harder you've worked, the more you have maybe fumbled, maybe not, but that just means you have gained more from this class. Your body will be stronger because of it. So just take a moment to thank yourself and love yourself and bringing it all in. So bringing our hands back out to the sides, use your strong core to bring yourself up through center, then straightening those legs, shaking it out. I'm going to do one more pose of the day, our happy baby pose. So taking our hands to the outside of our knees, getting space if you can. Gotta give her a little nudge, trying to draw our knees in towards think about drawing the knees in towards your armpits and trying to push the feet down, simultaneously pressing into the hands, that equal and opposite action, keeping your legs active, really feeling our sacrum as it's trying to ground in, maybe tucking the chin, maybe rocking a little bit side to side. Just a moment in play. This is happy baby pose. So imagining yourself as a little happy baby. Can you embody that true nature of this pose? And then release, bringing our knees in one more time, giving us one big bear hug. And then straightening out, setting up for our final Savasana. So rolling our shoulder blades down and back, really grounding in to the earth. Palms are by your side, facing up to receive. Heels can be mat's width, knees falling in, or maybe straightening the legs. Heels flopping out. We're a little bit, I'm feeling open because of my Malasana squat, so you're also welcome to take your feet inside the mat and having your knees falling open for a little reclining bound angle pose. Just find what pose is calling to you that you can soften into and settle in for a couple of minutes of true, good, earned rest. breath by breath, can we soften in, release a little bit more tension, feeling our limbs grow heavy, and just trying to embody this pose, that there is nothing in this moment but you and your breath. All right, if Savasana is calling to you, you're welcome to stay longer. If you're ready to be guided out, gently start to invite some movements into your fingers and toes, keeping your eyes closed for a few moments more. Maybe adding some wrist circles, some ankle circles, starting to extend the arms up and overhead. Nice, good, big good morning stretch here. And then gently starting to roll over to one side, just for a moment, to help the spine reset, come back to neutral. And gently starting to push yourself up and coming into a comfortable seat. So we have started this class in the seats, and we'll end this class in the seats. But maybe notice what you're feeling now. How are you different from when we began? And just taking inventory of yourself, right? How has this class served you today? Just taking a moment in gratitude. Maybe your hands at your heart, slight tuck in the chin, bringing it in, bringing that awareness in towards center. For all of the work that you have done today, just taking a moment in gratitude for all of the benefits that you will receive. Because all of the work that we put in on the mat, I truly believe we all benefit off of the mat. And so until we meet on our mats again, I bow to you and say, Om Shanti, peace. Thank you so much. If you found this class even slightly helpful, please, I would love it if you would like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Let's help get this content out in front of the people that need it the most. And otherwise, until next time, keep doing the work, and I hope to see you on our mats again soon. Bye.